commentator Phil Good, who, well, I don't know, you can look him up, look up Phil. He's a very interesting color commentator for Earth Ascension. And he was talking about how if you are in a situation where you have a lot of negativity around you from other people, he said these are basically contracts that you have agreed to when you were unconscious. In other words, Feel Good is very much a awakening kind of person. Um, and he says that before you were awake, due to your unconsciousness, you vibrationally agreed to be the patsy for other negative beings. And once you've awakened, and you're basically supposed to tell them all, no, I'm not going to be your patsy anymore. And this is the time to terminate your agreements with these other, usually unawakened beings. Uh, but Phil doesn't really go into it at all. I'm going to rephrase that because it came out wrong. Phil does not tell you how to terminate your agreements with negative beings. In other words, people who are highly negative around you. Why doesn't he do this? I don't know. Apparently, he wants you to book a session for about, $250 an hour to have Phil talk to you on FaceTime or something. So what do I get from this? Phil is a capitalist, and he is not gifting his services to individual use. Individual use might say, well, there's 8 billion humans, and there's only one Phil Good. Obviously, he's got to meter himself, ration himself by using the market force known as supply and demand, and putting the money number there so that people will have to pay, so he can have some time alone while he's still getting some mookie money coming in. The problem with Phil Good is that he is not a sacred economics person. He doesn't understand that by sacred economics, in other words, gifting himself, Earth Coincidence Control Office will make sure that he's not overloaded with 8 billion people at one time, unless he's doing a giant group session or something, or synchronicity, serendipity. All of these other factors will make sure that you get with the right person at the right time, and you won't need to charge them money, and they won't need to pay you money. The problem that Phil Good has got is that he is still a little bit unconscious, because he is still charging people for his services. If you are charging people for your services, whether to get a haircut, to snowplow their road, to give them a taxi ride, to give them a beer, to cook them a dinner, to fix their cell phone screen that got broken, to be their, no, I'm not going to say doctor or medical advisor, because no one needs a doctor or a medical advisor, believe it or not. But the point of the matter is, in 3D reality, all of these things are paid for, and they are considered contracts. When you move to higher dimensions, beyond even 5D, the fifth dimension, this just doesn't, it's so ridiculous. I call ridiculous on this. This was something I learned from somebody's video yesterday. When something is not of a higher consciousness, you call ridiculousness on it. And I'm calling ridiculousness on all of you out there that are either working for money or charging others for money. Includes renting out one of your properties to, a renter, a tenant. I'm sorry, if you're doing this, you're incredibly low vibration. Maybe you don't mind being low vibration, but the point of the matter is you're ignoring the truth. The truth is, I'm going to see if I can bring in Ascended Master somebody. Hello, I'm Ascended Master Mark. There's no man. What was that? That wasn't an ascended master. That was a ghoul that got fried. Okay. So what happens is when you come in contact with someone who is plugged into source and you're of low vibration, um, you do it because you think you're going to feed on someone else's connection to source. So you get involved with that person, and you're expecting a huge payoff of what's known as demonic energy, highly negative in nature because you're a negative being, and you're expecting it to help prolong you in your negativity. These things also are known as steam from the Stephen King books, uh, and from general internet, they're known as loosh, Loosh. If you're going to wonder how long these so called negativities are going to be around you, the answer is pretty much the rest of your day because the negative entities stay connected to you even when they stop bothering you. Where are they connecting to you? Mostly in your lower chakras, so everything below your heart, your solar plexus, and below is where these ones are connecting to you. They could even connect to you through not so much, only the lower chakras. And why is it that they stay connected and they go dormant? It's because they're tired. And, what can you disconnect them? It's not about disconnecting them. The reason they're connected to you and dormant is because they're tired. Why are they tired? Because they expanded all their negativity to connect to you. Now that they're connected, um, your job is to be high vibration. In other words, to help them learn their mistakes. And their mistakes are connecting to you on lower chakras below the heart. If they would simply connect to you at your heart, not so much good to connect up into throat because it tends to cause people to choke. If you're a negative vibration being and you connect to them in your third eye, the person's third eye, then that person is going to see horrible nightmares. If they connect to somebody up at the crown chakra, the person is going to feel, it's called dark pods. This is called dark pods, and they clog up a person's crown chakra up here, where they're supposed to be getting higher wisdom, higher energy coming in. And the dark pods come in here, and it's like paving it with asphalt, the top of your head. They pave it with asphalt, dark pods, so that you can't get any higher wisdom or good energy. These are what loose demons do. They're very good at it. If they connect to you here in your heart, you're going to get heart attack. No, it's actually the safest place for anyone to connect heart to heart. I mean, let's have a heart to heart. That's the best place to connect. If you've got dark pods or they've paved, you know, they've asphalted or paved over the top of your head so that you can't get a connection to higher self. There's a lot of things you can do. The best thing to do is go into a deep trance. In other words, go within and meditate because you are not necessarily needing a chakra download through your crown chakra, believe it or not. You are multiple ways connected to source once you are connected to source. So if you go into a deep trance inside of yourself, you are connected to source. Why is that? It's just because there are other dimensional. This is like kind of bullshit because it's not really other dimensional because all these dimensions and things that people keep talking about are kind of like phony baloney. They're basically prolonging the school of Earth so that you can come to the conclusion that there really aren't any other dimensions. So, not really a ghoul feed, what I gave you. It's more like if you're trying to figure it out with your monkey mind, how you could possibly be disconnected because your crown chakra is blocked and yet go into trance and be connected to source. It just is. It just is. It just is. So, and then what happens once you're connected to source? Does your crown chakra get unplugged? Possibly, possibly not. Because the thing is that the beings that have put asphalt over your crown chakra, the dark pods, those beings have used a little bit of themselves to create the asphalt pavement. So they're there. And, we're still playing in what we call physicality. If we dematerialized ourselves, would there asphalt come? Depends on the game. Depends on the game. I mean, if you've got in the old Star Trek series where they had a transporter beam, if you were holding a puppy at the time of transport, the puppy would come with you, unless you specifically told the transporter chief, I've got a puppy in my hands, please don't transport that with me. So he knew, to go and search and see what was you and what was the puppy. In essence, that's the same way if, you dematerialized yourself. If you only dematerialized yourself, then only you would disappear, or your physicality. But if you decided you were going to dematerialize yourself, plus, some other beasties that are around you, because you were going to, dematerialize them, then they would only be consciousness, or, maybe you would rematerialize them in a cage or something. Go, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, I got you this time. The whole point of this exercise is just to tell you that Feel Good has not explained how to terminate your so-called contracts with other beings. You can try these ones. Say, I'm a sovereign being. You're infringing on my sovereignty, and you don't have a contract with me to be a nasty beast. What happens with that? Well, if they're nasty beasts, they usually laugh at you, and then they, they show you that they've still got lots of loose power over your physicality, and be my slave. Well, you're going to be my slave whether you agree to it or not. So there is no good way to terminate contracts with negativity. I'm sorry. At least I haven't found one so far. So what is your best bet when it comes to negativity? Live with it for now. How long are you going to have to live with the negativity? It depends on whose reality box you're buying. If you're buying the reality box that all of Earth is ascension, then as everything ascends, sooner or later, they're going to disconnect from their negativity and connect to Source. Or the other reality box is that you're in the lake of fire, the biblical lake of fire, where basically all nasty demonics go there for eternity. If that's the case, then you're never going to get away from the negative beings. Is it good to believe in any of these things? Yeah, it's a reality box. In other words, it's a map. But if the map doesn't work for you, put the map away and quest for a new map, because it might take you 10,000 lives to find the right map that gets you out of, the lake of fire. And, if you want to get out, you better be looking for it. Can you meditate and look for it at the same time? Meditating is a form of questing. Meditating is a form of looking, because you're basically getting into the gap between the thoughts. And that's where you can disconnect from the current reality box that you're in. Feel Good, if you're watching, please stop charging people for sessions one-on-one with you. If you want to have a one-on-one with me, I already paid Alex Fairburn in California to have time with me, and I'm not going to keep paying not Magenta, who was the other? Beverly Nation. I paid her money so I could have some time with her. The point of the matter is, I don't have a lot of money. And if I'm going to connect with you and I have to pay you money in order to give you the service that I'm offering, which is basically my higher consciousness trying to tell you stop being a capitalist, um, I don't have enough money. If they gifted me, I don't know, $1 trillion, maybe that would be a good start for the number of people that need to connect with me so that I can give them um, a fix. It's known as a fix because you're broken, feel good, because you're still charging money out as a capitalist to give people your services. You're still considering people around you to be clients rather than considered duly respectful other aspects of yourself. So feel good is still thinking somehow there's me, and then everything else is not me. I also do this because when I'm talking about these negative entities, on some level, they are still part of Source. Unfortunately, they are disconnected from Source. So they are like, if you imagine a very big storm and you're out on the ocean and there's enormous waves, and as the wave curls over on the edge, the leading edge of the curling over wave, parts of the wave are breaking off, and it's little bits of spray. They're individual particles of the wave, and the wave is made, of course, of ocean water. So it's little bits of the ocean, which is, ocean is all source, okay? It's all the source. It's all the God force energy. But these little bits of water are in little water droplets in the spray that's fallen down over the edge of the curling wave, of the huge wave on the ocean in a big storm. Those are disconnected bits of source. And those are, well, it could be anything, but in my particular scenario, those are the negative beings around you. So they're still made of ocean water, which is source, but they are disconnected from the greater whole of source. So in my scenario, they're just, you know, they're, it can't be explained too much more than they're just being little shits. So, feel good, you're being a little shit. Time and again, I'm going to tell you synchronicity, serendipity, the Office of Earth Coincidence Control Office, Galactic Coincidence Control Office, etc., will organize your day perfectly well and make sure that you get lunch and make sure you get a boyfriend if you really insist you need to have a boyfriend. And in the end, everything that you really need will come to you, but you're holding on, feel good. You're holding on to, as I said, capitalism, which is treating other. I'm repeating myself. I'm terribly sorry. So you see, if I go into meditation, I can unhook from this repetitive pattern. I'm Harry Weaver. Thank you for watching, and feel good if you're watching. If you want a boyfriend, I'd go on a date with you. Um, uh, I don't know. We're going to have to go someplace and figure you out, which means you're going to have to listen to me. And, if we ask Alex Fairburn of Los Angeles or wherever the hell he is in California to come along, well, he's a very handsome buck, and maybe the two of you can go off in the forest and have whatever rhymes with buck. Silly, monkey-minded human. Feel good. Alex Fairburn. Beverly Asian. I don't know. There's so many of you out there. Lee Harris Energy. Still charging people for your stuff. Stop charging money. Let go of the capitalist mindset and set yourself free. I don't know if Aaron Dowdy and Victor Otto and Maui, I think they're probably still expecting Patreon payments or something. You stupid people, you are actually limiting your own Personal growth because you're very phlegmatic. You have to look up the word phlegmatic. It's an old way of looking at aspects of people. There's melancholic, phlegmatic. You're being phlegmatic. Go look it up on the Google. That's what you're suffering from. You got to let go of the money economy. I'm Bobby Burrows. Harry Weaver, the narrator, Bob Frizzell, the producer, and multiple other cosmic characters.